What's going on, y'all? This will be the last video and last installment of the series. Just answering those questions that I was sent about a couple weeks ago, whatever, a week ago. Uh, and he wanted me to give any words of advice towards the dancers in China or the dancers all over the globe. So it won't just be a generalization of just the dancers in China or things like this. This is going to be for everybody because I don't like to separate things, regardless of whatever state they're in. Um, Number one, practice smart. Always practice smart. You must know how to properly practice. Okay, you must know the time that it takes to practice. You got to go move for move. You got to perfect those moves and really look at the inconsistencies in your style, what you're doing. You got to look at what history you don't know versus what you do know, or what you've gathered all together from various sources. Um, and you just gotta you gotta practice, and you gotta know how your body works. That's the only way to do it. Um, I can't stress that enough. Another word for everybody to do is to make the trip to LA. If you're not already there in LA, there's plenty of dancers out there that can help you. There's plenty of dancers all over the globe that can do it. But make the trip to where it all comes from. You got the Bay Area, and then you got LA. So you got all this good stuff you can get when you make these pilgrimages. I like to call them, out there. You want to make sure that you're taking advantage of those things because people are not around forever. Take the chance on doing that so that you can ask those questions you always wanted to know if you're really into the craft. I know a lot of folks that'll head to all the other countries because they're all one big landmass and there's a lot going on at once. But take that trip to LA, see what the culture's like, see what all these OGs you may have heard or not have heard of, see what they're doing and where this dance comes from. It's definitely worth it. There's a lot of good dancers even in my age bracket who are just as awesome as anybody else. You can ask a lot of good questions or take classes or anything like that. And that's in any genre of dance. LA is a good place to start. Definitely make some friends out there. Get you a good hotel room somewhere near where you have access to like the public transportation, and you're good to go, man. And you can go out there and check those events out. There's always jams or something going on. There's always a nightclub to visit. You definitely want to check those things out. Also, another tip is to get optimal control of your body. Okay, stretching, studying on human anatomy, um, getting your mind together, properly resting, learning how to, stay away from injuries and things like that, how your style works, how to create. You have to have optimal control of your body, you know. Practice. It always goes back to practicing smart, okay? Um, Study. Look and search for old footage and old music or music in general. Study everything. Everything you can get your hands on. Okay, I don't care if it's ballet or tap. I don't care if it's housing or old school hip hop dancing. Just got to be anything. Start to see how these dances work. Learn their history. Learn the progression of it. What was going on that day and age. Look up, where ballet started. Look up where tap dancing started. Swing dancing, Lindy Hop, whatever it is, do your history. Very interesting stuff, and it'll definitely help your craft along a lot better. Don't stick to just popping. Yeah, you may be a popper, but you must have respect for all the genres and all the professions that come with it, because there's a lot of moves in popping that come from these other genres of dancing. So you need to learn where they come from, so it might help you create something brand new. You never know. Um, you could be the next thing, the next it, or create the next style that's a big craze or something. So definitely study hard. Um, Study music comprehension. Uh, and there's a lot of folks out there, they get the whole musicality bug thing. They get caught up on that because somebody is hitting certain accents on the song. That's not musicality. Musicality is your comprehension and how you convey the music through your body language or the dance. You know what I'm saying? This is how you interpret the music and how, I guess what you would say, tell your story uh, through music. Along running hand in hand with, you know, all other outside sources. You gotta learn what music comprehension is. That means studying what music is, composers or producers, whatever you want to call them nowadays. Study what beats per minute is. Study the history behind these. You got to do these things, man, because they help you. Me, I didn't have a choice growing up because of my family's background in music. So it was just always there. It wasn't something I had to go search for. It was just there. I didn't have a choice. So it definitely helped me through the ages. Definitely helped me learn more about funk and things like that because it was always around me. Uh, because my dad. So you just got to go for it, man. When you learn more about music, the musicality thing just kind of comes with it. That term's got to be killed out because it's just overdone, and that's how people think that you're supposed to dance. Memorizing a song is not musicality. It's just memorizing a song and doing everything on the song. How are you conveying what you feel this song is doing to you or saying? That is what is important. That is musicality. Your communication to others through body language on the behalf of whatever music's playing. That is what musicality is, and how they perceive or pick that up, and how they understand that. It is talking, it is communication. It's like if you couldn't speak, then what would you be doing? Sign language. Sign language is a form of what? Symbols from your hands. What are your hands attached to? Your body. So what does that also constitute? Body language. Even when you posture, you can see how somebody is, or how they feel, or their stature, or whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. It's how you're speaking to people just through your body language. Okay. Stop that musicality crap, saying because this guy is freaking the beat and he's doing every single little accent and all this noise and stuff. It's bullshit. Okay. You're only stifling yourself. You only kill your own style off. You know. You got to get out there and you got to learn this music. It's great that you can memorize things. That's good, but it doesn't help you in the long run. Yeah, I have over about 5,000 something plus songs in different genres memorized in my head that I can name right off the bat. I've already played this game with my brother Nate numerous times. He already knows that I can just name genres and songs and stuff off the bat and tell you where I heard it and what year I heard it. That's great. That doesn't count as musicality. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't. So you have to study what music comprehension is before you can get into musicality. Okay? And musicality is only about 5% of what the dance has to offer. That's the truth. So you got to get away from that. Any other questions about the musicality thing? Please come hit me up and you show me your musicality, and I'll definitely show you what music comprehension is. Thumbs up. Moving on. Look out for the OGs. Respect them. Um, and ask the right questions, and ask for the knowledge. Come humbly, and just be open, be open. There's a lot of good dancers in LA. You got Bob and Andre, Chuco. We got, Anthony Thomas, and you got, Slick is still out there. Bill is somewhere out there. You got Pete. Every once in a while, he rolls around LA and Vegas, and you got all these good dancers. J Rock. Sometimes I think he moved to New York. I'm not quite sure. Jay Smooth, Slim, Shockwave. Just so many good poppers out there. Breeze Lee, all those guys. Just go to their classes and stuff. And they're not necessarily OGs, but the older dancers definitely help. Because they were there when this thing was up and jumping off. The dancers that I just named that were younger, they learned from these people direct, and they're good sources of learning. So definitely go search that out. Learn your history, as far as where the dance is coming from, where the moves is coming from, so that you understand who created what, and that'll definitely help you on when you create things, so you can keep a timeline of what you've done, in conjunction to giving the popping. Um, know the difference between what looks good and what's whack. Uh, that's a tough one. Please learn the difference between what sucks and what doesn't. Uh, I've seen a numerous amount of competitions. I've seen a numerous amount of people who have been in the game for quite some time. They're not much around anymore. They've gotten better. I can't even think of there's so many. I can't even think of anybody set. But I just hope that they see that there's after a certain point in time of popping, you should be at a certain level. And this is one thing I always commended Slick Dog about, is that it should only take about 2 years to be good at this. Okay? And then not look like you're a beginner. Especially if you're an OG or older dancer, you shouldn't be looking like anything beginner. You should still be mirroring what you looked like back in the 80s or the 70s. Yeah, you might lose a little bit here and there. We understand that, but there should be some type of indication, of that. So, uh, definitely no difference between what sucks and what doesn't. No more easy props. No more just getting easy, back to the musicality thing, hitting some things and doing some decent moves when you could have did something really dope and really heartfelt and putting your soul out there and got just as much and maybe more out of it, You got to know what's whack and what's not. Don't do anything that's of no good use whatsoever. Only do the things that matter, okay? Um, learn that robot, like I said in the other videos. Stick to it. Don't ever let it go, because that is the number one thing that you can always have to count on is that robot. It will help you in times of need when you feel like crap, you got to perform or you got to battle. That robot will be there for you as long as you know it and you do it clean. Um, you're all good. And just look at Chad and how much he's gone and grown from that robot. It's amazing. All the control you can have. It's completely unreal. Why not have that? Uh, another thing is, um, learn. Don't be afraid to be different. You know, don't be afraid to be different, and don't be afraid to be yourself. Know who you are as a person. Know your personality, because that does translate into your popping. It should. You know. Learn who you are on the flip side of things when you're angry, mad, you're loving, caring, or being a dickhead, anything. You gotta learn yourself. This is how you grow as a person. This is how you grow in this dance. And you start to understand how this dance grows. And the last thing is, don't be a student forever. Okay, you can be a student at the beginning, maybe the first 10 years, possibly, maybe in 5 years. But there's a certain point where you got to work to graduate. You go to high school, you graduate. You go to college, you graduate. You go to a tech program or anything like master's, you graduate. You're not always going to be a student. If you keep your mind in a student-based way of thinking, it only starts to grow from all the amazing things you can do, or going beyond the amazing things you can do or accomplish, or the ideas that pop in your head. You already have the moves there. Okay? Don't get set and just, okay, I'm going to be a student forever. And that's not bad, because I've heard Wiggles say that, and it's absolutely true and honest. You will always be a student forever in some cases. But at some point, you got to become the master. You've got to become the teacher. You have to always, you got to pull yourself away from that. But you got to know when to, and you got to know when you're allowed to be that teacher. You can't lie to yourselves, and you can't let other people lie to themselves. It's hard work to graduate from being a student of this dance to uh, mastering it, because nobody wants somebody else to call themselves a master or something because of ego. You guys got to get away from that shit. It's just, you can't. You know what I'm saying? You have to master something. You have to get better at something. You know, it's just the way of the world. You can't be a student forever. You can't be a grunt forever. You gotta graduate. That's how it's working hard's all about. You're working hard to be a student forever. You're just working hard all the time. There's no goodness coming out of it. you know, when you're not a student, when you're 60, it's not fair. But know when you're switching from being a student and the teacher, okay? And definitely keep the boundary line between student and teacher, you know. Uh, and that's it. I wish everybody the best of luck. These are things that I live by, that I make sure that I operate off of, especially lately in the past couple of years, um, that have helped me out. And I hope that this helps everybody out there in China and all over the other, countries and states and territories or wherever you're at. And one more thing, I hope that everybody just keeps the respect going, keep up the hard work, keep battling hard, keep the respect of each other. And if there is nothing you can do to keep the respect, there's only one thing you can do to solve, and that is battle it out and battle to the death. No, I'm just playing. Not to the death, but just battle, 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 and learn, and graduate and graduate and graduate. That's all. Y'all be good. Peace.